Hey YouTube, welcome! Do you remember my video about the skill damage and the normal attack damage? Well, today is the turn of another technical video in which I'm gonna try to answer some of the most asked questions in the game regarding the equipment. Which stats should you prefer and when? What's the relationship between attack, defense and health? And how is the damage calculated? How many severely wounded units are involved in the process? We will try to answer some of those questions, some only partially, basing our theories on the data that we have at our disposal, and some more in depth. Before, I highly suggest you to watch my previous video on some of these topics, which will help you understand better what we are talking about. I'll make sure to have a card up on the top. I have here an Excel spreadsheet that I made to calculate the damage inflicted to the enemy. Normally the data we need are our attack, the enemy's defense and the enemy's health, and as everything between me and Madame Bia was equal, I can calculate everything basing on my stats, which will be her stats as well. We can see here that on the top left we have the number of our troops, and in the body we have our base attack, defense and health of the troops we are using, in this case T1 cavalry. If you want to check by yourself, we are picking those numbers from our stable by clicking on the horse icon, selecting the T1 cavalry unit and clicking on the info button. The numbers we need are the white ones on the left. Then we are adding up all the bonuses that we have during the battle, because I remember that the green ones on the right side are just the bonuses calculated outside of the battle, so they are not taking account of any VIP level or commander talents and skill effects. So we head over to our battle log, the same that I showed you in the previous video, and we click on troop buffs. We add this percentage to our base stat, and with some easy formula Excel calculates the final attack, defense and health stats. Now let's go over to the damage resulting formula, which is very easy to understand. I'm gonna show it on the screen. You can go ahead and check the link in the video description and you can read an article about this formula. Honestly, I came up also with something else that works as well, but we occur in the same problem of it breaking up when the number of units are more than 35,000. There are some unknown factors that we don't know that have the function to both protect the formulas of the game and at the same time speeding up the battles when we have bigger amounts of troops, in order not to have them lasting forever. So when we have more than a certain amount of troops, we actually deal more damage. Anyway, I programmed this formula very simply on an Excel page, and you can see that on turn 1 with 10,000 troops I have a damage resulting of 56 point something that the game is gonna always round up to the next number, 57. If we go ahead to turn 12, where we have 8,769 units, you can see that we have 52 point something rounded up to 53. So we can see that the formula works, at least for this amount of troops. But what can we deduct from this? Well, as you can see, the product between the number of troops and our attack is gonna be mitigated, dividing it by the enemy's defense and then dividing the result again by the enemy's health. That actually means that if you stack up too much on one of the two, you're gonna have diminishing returns. Let's for example have the sum of our defense and health resulting in 100 points. If those points are unbalanced between defense and health, we are not going to have the same result as when they are balanced. Let's make it practical. Let's say that the product of our troops number and our attack is 1 million. We divide this 1 million by 80 and then by 20, obtaining 625. Let's now divide the same number, 1 million, by some balanced stats, 50 and 50. We are gonna obtain in this way 400. So we are gonna deal much less damage if the enemies balance their health and defense stats. And now, if we click on the city hall and check the military buffs, we can easily realize that we have always much less health. So I will say, for example, that you should always prefer the Karak's Humility over the Eternal Night and the Gatekeeper's Shield over the Sakura Fubuki as a defender. You can of course prefer to stack up on attack if you are rolling with an Attila and a Takeda, because let's remember that we proved with our tests that the attack boost is gonna boost both the attack and the counterattack, which is very good for that type of commanders. We will be talking more about this topic on another video to try to answer more of your questions. If you like this type of video where we break down everything about the competitive side of Rise of Kingdoms, please consider subscribing to the channel and support me through a like. Also consider joining our Discord to ask more questions and request specific topics for the next videos. I will see you on the next one. Ciao!